Gabriel. This is Black Force Comics Weekly Review, Episode 51, brought to you by Scaldic Media and music by Rising Gay, the Raisin Man. So we're going to talk about comics that came out last week, as well as some comics that are coming out this week, as well as some news that popped up during the last time we saw y'all. So let's get started with last week's comics. First up, Bombshells, annual number 1. Now, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the Bombshells, but this started as just a cover variant thing, and then they ended up turning it into a actual event. So now they have these Bombshells, DC Bombshells, which is kind of like another multiverse, if you will. And in this one, this is their annual. Annuals are always good about starting new story arcs. So in this one, they're starting a new story arc where Babs was a bombshell. She was what you see on the picture here. But apparently during World War II, she fell in love with a fighter pilot from some opposing side, and they saved each other, and they fell in love. And they started working for the Bombshells, which is like a government entity ran by Amanda Waller. And it's nothing but women. It's a really cool organization. Anyway, so Leslie thought she lost him. Leslie thought he died. So she went to try to revive him. She did so by trying all these different mystical ways. And she found Ravager. And she also found Enchantress. And they have started up their own little Suicide Squad. So this is the Suicide Squad from the Bombshells. So it's a really cool issue. Check that one out. Bombshells number 1. All right, next up, Army of Darkness. Now here at Black Force Comics, we try not to get involved in a whole bunch of political things, but Army of Darkness, Ash for Prez, this is a one-shot. And they just take jabs at everybody. They take jabs at Bernie, they take jabs at Clinton, they take jabs at Trump, they take jabs at everyone. It's a really great comic. It's hilarious. If you like political satire, check that one out. All right, so that was Army of Darkness, Ash for President. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 17. So there's a lot going on right now in the Amazing Spider-Man universe. As you know, Peter Parker's working with all the Spider Peoples, and right now he's working with Prowler. And Prowler is kind of taking the place of Spider-Man. He's got his own suit, and his Prowler suit is underneath it. And Peter Parker asked him to do some reconnaissance as a Prowler. And so he goes to see where these somebody that Peter Parker loves is dying, and they want to use this questionable medical procedure, and he asks Prowler to go check the place that they're doing the R&D for it. And so he goes in, he checks it, he sees what's going on. There's some people there that should have been dead, and they're brought back to life now. There's this new Electra, I should say. She was the girlfriend of Electro, the original Electro, who was accidentally killed by him. And she's brought back to life, but now she has the Electro powers, and she kills the previous Electro because she's kind of crazy and evil. And the people that brought her back to life are claiming to be the good guys, and they keep telling her to stop doing it. But yeah, she ends up killing Prowler, and they bring Prowler back to life, and they kind of hire him, I guess, from underneath Peter Parker. So he's kind of like a double agent. So yeah, that's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 17. First appearance of the new Elektra. So grab that one. It's going to be a key comic. All right, next up, Hyperion issue number 6. Now Hyperion isn't the real, I don't know. It's a good comic. It's just not one that's like, wow, such a great story. But this one is really good. This gets down to the very meat and potatoes of what Hyperion is and who he believes himself to be, how he wants to be this better person. Really, you got to read the comic because he does a whole better spiel than I do. That he wants to be a better person, he wants to do these right things, and he wants everyone to see him do these right things, but he knows that he can't because he knows he's not a person. He is a god, and he just wrecks shop. It's a pretty cool comic. It's a good one. Hyperion issue number 6, special appearance by Tony Stark, who gets beat up by Thundera and Hyperion. So check that one out. Hyperion issue number 6. All right, last up for our kids comic, Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 11. This is the Marvel Universe Guardians of the Galaxy that ties into the Marvel XD on Disney. So with this one, you have the Grandmaster and the Collector. Of course, they're brothers, and they've always been feuding and fighting or whatever. So the Guardians are trying to chase down this cosmic seed, and it's through some type of field that causes their ship to crumble. So to get through there, they have to get some type of repulsor, and they know the only person that has it is the Collector. The Collector says, I'll give it to you if you take these space cow donkey things to my brother, the Grandmaster. And so they're like, okay, we'll take it. Turns out that those things are rigged to explode once they get to his brother. There's a whole bunch of adventures that ensue during the transportation. They figure out that they're explosive. They figure out if you don't feed them what's on their diet, they spit liquid fire. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Check that one out. Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 11. So that concludes this week's comics. Let's look at what's coming out, or last week's comics. Let's look at what's coming out this week. So there's a whole bunch coming out this week. We have Flintstones issue number 3, which has been a really cool series. We also have the all new, all different Avengers. Uncanny X-Men, Silk. I'm actually looking at them at a table right now, so if you see me look away like that, it's because I'm looking at them. Harley Quinn issue number 3 came out. Batman number something rather. Superman number something rather. So those have been good. Also, Supergirl number 1 has come out, and that also has a blank cover, and it's not that cheap blank paper that they had for Supergirl number 1 a while back. Yeah, that was horrible. I guess they learned from that. Also, Cyborg, the Rebirth story, also came out, which is really, I don't know, I haven't read that yet, so I'm looking forward to reading that. Daredevil came out. Archer and Armstrong, issue number 7 or 8, I believe. Justice League came out. Pink Panther, because, you know, you should be reading Pink Panther. Nightwing. Atomic Robo. Yeah, because Atomic Robo, guys, you need to read that. Spidey, without the list in my hand, I really can't tell you what. But there's a whole bunch of comics. There's some really good stuff. So get out to your local comic book shop and check it out. All right. All right, so that concludes the comics for this week. Let's talk about some news. All right, so there's a whole bunch of news that happened. Let's get started with first on comicbookmovie.com. There was a interview on Audible Exquisite Podcast with the original Black Power Ranger Walter Jones. He played Zach. And they asked him about the new Power Ranger movie coming up, and he said that no one had approached him or his companions about the movie. So there's going to be no original Power Rangers or other Power Rangers appearing in the Power Rangers movie. Sorry if you are looking forward to that. Also, Robbie Reyes, the new Ghost Rider for ABC's Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is now got a poster or picture of him up on the internet that shows him in his costume. It's not the flaming head, but it's him with the jacket on, and it really looks true to the Robbie Reyes from the comic book Ghost Rider. Gabriel Luna is, of course, playing that. Not me, Gabriel, another Gabriel. No relation. We're both Mexican. All right, also, it's not super duper confirmed, but Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill were talking about it. Batman Hush, also a Batman A Death in the Family possible cartoon movie, which Hush would be cool. I mean, it'll be all right. I think we've actually seen it before. I don't think it's a new thing. I think there has been a Hush cartoon. I could be wrong. I could just be imagining it. It could have just been the comics melded together so well that I thought it was a cartoon movie. But I know for a fact there hasn't been a Death in the Family movie. This is not Death of the Family. This is a Death in the Family where Jason Todd was killed, which would be a really cool movie. I think America's ready for it. Also, from CBR.com, Angela Lansbury. I don't know if you're familiar with who that is. That's the lady that created Murder, She Wrote. She's an old mystery writer, or mystery writer. She is talking about being in Game of Thrones Season 8. I don't know if you're familiar with who she is. Google her right now. Go ahead. Angela Lansbury. Open up another tab and put Angela Lansbury in there. It's going to be pretty amazing to have her in there. I just got to say it. It's a cool idea. So that's going to conclude the news for this week. Let us know what you're reading. Let us know what you want to talk about. And we'll see you next week. Don't look at me.